and they're all turning up for Arteta, I feel like I'm turning up for Arteta. Do you know what I mean? So, a long way to go, but I just want to make the point that him and Edu have done some really good work off the pitch. That even today, regardless of what happens, I can give them immense credit for some of the things they're addressing in the club. And, dare I say, I think, and we don't really know, I think Josh Kroenke's maybe slightly more, I think he's slightly more involved, let's just say. I think, and I don't know anything obviously, I think him and Stan have had a word, and I think Josh has gone, I know you don't really care, let me care for it. And you hear Arteta and Edu and how they work very closely, and he's in London a lot more, he's going to games a lot more. I just think that careful, more watchful eye. I heard rumours, and it is only rumours, that he had a bit of involvement in the Aubameyang thing. That is just some Twitter rumour, but you never know. I don't know that far. I just wonder whether that's played a part as well. So credit to the behind the scenes guys. There's some very good stuff that's been done.
I mean, like, you know, there's that saying, when the facts change, I change. You know what I'm saying? And the facts are changing. The fact is, we are playing fluid football. The fact is, we are getting results. Performances are improving. So, you know, we're fourth, you know, and when like people like, I see people's tweets and like comments, Stricto's delusional, flip-flopping. Bro, it's just the facts are changing. It would be an agenda if I carried on with Arteta out because I said one thing, because I said it and I don't want to change my position. That would be an agenda. There's a lot of people who hold on to these agendas because they want to be proven right and would rather die on that hill of improving right. I'm not that way. Like, I kind of look at the bigger picture. At the time when I was Arteta out, we just came out of Europe. What you need to do is did we even register a shot on target? We didn't put up a fight.
Tactics were a bit messy. False nine and the left back.
Right. You can look at all these things and you can squarely put it on the manager, right? I mean, you put on the players as well, but ultimately the manager's tactics, right? Yeah. And then you come back and you finished 8th, and then you finished 8th again. You're like, hold on, what's going on here? Like, the same man is in charge and the same man isn't getting the results. Now you twist it round 360. The same man's getting the results. The same man's getting the tactics right. The same man's pulling us up the table. Why shouldn't your mind change? I have no agenda. My only so-called agenda, you would say, is to see my team do great, do better. That is all I care about. And if that means Arteta is, you know, if Arteta is the man doing that, then I'm behind him. Yeah. Simple as that. That's my only agenda, is I'm behind the betterment of my club and my team. We spend a lot of money. As fans and supporters, we spend a lot of money and a lot of time. There's times when you don't get home.
Time is money.
Time is money. There's times when you don't get home till like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. because you've gone to an away match. You expect time you expect with your family. I'm emotionally involved. Do you understand? So when people use those little flip-flop, people are sat at home who ain't even, I mean, not trying to get at anyone, but a lot of armchair supporters who ain't really investing in anything other than having internet and have Wi-Fi to fucking, can I ever swear? It was too late.
You can,
You know what I'm saying? But all they got is Wi-Fi to comment nonsense, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm right now, currently, there's some confidence that I have right now, and I haven't had this confidence in a while. You know, right, we lost to Everton, right? And I was so scared of that Everton defeat because I thought in the long term that would derail the mentality. Because you've seen us, we lose, we don't have that wounded animal mentality going into the next game. We just tend to just have a victim mentality. We just whimper. Do you know what I'm saying? But that mentality changed straight away next game. And then game following. And now I'm just thinking to myself, the mentality is starting to change. I haven't seen that in a long time. Since Wenger left, in fact, even just before Wenger left, we had that victim mentality, and I'm starting to see that kind of getting moved to the side of it. And going to Man City now, you can kind of say, cool. Like, there's no expectations here, which is a great thing to have. You know, which is, you remember in seasons past, this time we usually come out of every competition there is this time. But now there's no expectation, which is a great thing because they've bought that.
Yeah.
I challenge everyone with this agenda thing. You make such a good point, and just challenge everyone watching this or whatever to just, if your mind is going to drastically change on something, that's so fine. As you said, facts change. Just consider to yourself why that's changed. So I think a lot of our minds have changed on Arteta Because the football's better. It's so much better than we've ever seen it under
Are you
Arteta.
eliminating that it might change again?
Because that's my point. It could change. Exactly. It could change back. So my point is, just understand one. The best example I can give is, I had a lot of people on me about the Xhaka thing, because I was really complimenting his performance against Norwich. But I didn't just go, Xhaka played really well today, I love him. No, because I'm still very aware of the past and my previous thoughts and feelings. But I also know why I felt differently after Norwich. He's playing higher up the pitch. He's not left in midfield alone. He was doing the kind of shithousery, but in a good way. In a way that was on the edge, but it gave Arsenal an edge, and I really liked it. And I was able to just say, I really enjoyed Xhaka's performance. I hope he continues it, but this is why. If I just turned up and go, love Xhaka today, answer to our midfield, but you weren't saying that, you weren't willing to back him during the bad patch, so why not? I just challenge everyone just to stop and think, if your mind's going to change on something, it's so fair, it's so fair, it's okay. But I just challenge everyone to understand why, because I think flip-flopping is when you just go, we won, yay, Arteta in, we lost, Arteta out. There's got to be an understanding behind why we're feeling the way we're feeling. I think we express it, but people just get a little bit caught up in, you at surface level, you think this and it wasn't this before, so
how do you feel now?
Exactly.
It's but they don't really want to know how you feel now.
Lovely,
yeah, but they don't want to hear that.
Exactly. I don't care.
They want egg on your face, but
listen, the feeling that I had against Everton, right, when I was in here, I was down.
Vexed.
I put that on Mikel Arteta. I blamed him for my bad feelings. Now I'm bloody jolly and I'm enjoying watching Arsenal play football. So I'm going to put that on Arteta as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's
how it is. But that game against Everton, I was so infuriated by the performance and let down by everybody, not him, the players, everything. What a fantastic response, and I'm going to give Mikel a little bit of credit on it. He went and played exactly the same team against Southampton. You know what I mean? Now he could have dropped 6 or 7 in there, but he changed the same team, and I thought, you know what, that gives you, that's a bit of balls. It's a bit of So I like being proven wrong. Because you know what, football is about opinions, and all I want is to go and watch Arsenal, be entertained, compete and win games. I'm not saying that I want us to go and win titles every season, but I do want us. I want to go when I pay. I know it's going to be minimum of £75 on Saturday to go and watch that game. You feel you want to, when you're putting your money across the table, you feel like you want to have a chance of winning a game of football.
Not feel like you want to do it. I want to get. I want to because I love you, Arsenal.
There's been too many times, not just under Mikel, but too many times in the last year. I've been putting my money away knowing that we're not going to win the game of football. People go on about the Liverpool game. I knew when I went up to Liverpool we weren't going to win that game. I'm fed up
of feeling like
that now. But these last 3 or 4 games, whether I'm being mad or a flip-flop or whatever, the way we've played gives me confidence, thinking, do you know what? We might beat City. Thank you very much. So there's someone somewhere, he's doing a good job.
Because you make a good point with that feeling going to away games. I've mentioned it on my channel a lot, and over the last 5, maybe 10 years, going to away games, I've already got that feeling that we're not going to come back with much.
You come away from it and go, oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew we weren't going to win anyway, and people are making excuses on the way out before they've even got to the van.
Yeah, and that goes a long way, because growing up, away games, it was like, let's fucking do them, let's leave there with 3 points, and it was very much like the day started, as soon as you woke up, good spirits. But in recent times, you wake up for an away game, it's, all right, boys,
What am I doing this for myself?
Stockport away, tricky place to go. And you're thinking, all respect to Stockport, you start telling yourself all these things, it's a hard place to go, that, and
listen, my missus doesn't understand why I put myself through it. It's like you're getting in your car, going somewhere far, just so that when I call you, you're not gonna pick up my. Not that I'm doing anything mad, but but you're gonna be in a mood. Why are you putting yourself through?
Exactly. Well, so I used to come home before my dad died. We'd turn around and go, "What are you doing, son? Why are you putting yourself through it?" But you do.
You do.
Because we love Arsenal.
Because you love it.
We love
but listen,
Arsenal.
I said to my dad, I used to say, well, you used to do it. He said, I learned me lesson, and I but the fact of the matter is, he used to do it as well. It's something that you do. But listen, I've supported Arsenal when they weren't great before, and I support them when they ain't again. But what you want, I don't care. Even through the dark days of Arsenal, I always felt, particularly when I was going to a home game, that we were going to win games of football. That's been taken away from me over the last few nights. But, you know, I didn't think when we played Chelsea, we was going to go and beat Chelsea that day, you know what I mean? Like, and you start thinking, well, I'm going to start getting into that mentality so you don't get annoyed. Now, the game against Everton, I got really angry and everything for that because I thought
that was
the expectation of me has come back a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you think, oh, so try to dampen down your expectations. But my expectations, I can't help it, have been taken up a level because of our performances.
And it's natural, it's a natural feeling. And I think it's fair to say all four of us here would rather be wrong and happy than right and unhappy.
Well, egg on my face all day long. Give it to me.
And I think, and it's the boring bit no one wants to hear. The whole, let's just calm a little.
Take a step back.
I was after the Everton game. I said, you know, when it came to Arteta, would I replace him with a guaranteed better manager? I think some of the managers I said were Ten Hag. I threw Brendan Rodgers, and people kept going. Brendan Rodgers, you know, he's a bottler. Listen, he's finished 5th 2 years in a row with Leicester, without the same budget or the same players. He's just beaten Liverpool, and at the time, but you know, he showed yesterday with no fit centre backs. He's still a very good manager, and I think we're just so quick to go to dismiss things and big up other things and we still lost 6 games this season, which for me is far too much when those 6 are Everton away, we shouldn't have lost, United away, we shouldn't have lost. By shouldn't, I mean
draw.
Expectation, not performance. Brentford, you know, then I can look past Liverpool, Chelsea, City, especially because of the circumstances for the latter two. But, you know, there's still been signs and moments that are really concerning, if I'm honest. Moments. Now, it's not been the season, the whole half season has been very encouraging, impressive. But there have been moments that have been very worrying. Now,
it would be silly to ignore them as well, because the club has ignored moments like that over the past 10 years. That's led to Wenger being vilified, that's led to players being vilified, that's led to the club being vilified. So
now you can explain it. You can explain it. Very young team. Very young team. I think we've put out something like the 16 youngest starting 11s this season. So, you know, we are consistently going out the youngest team of the weekend. That plays a part. You know, people talk about, but age doesn't matter, it's about quality. It's like, no, it matters. Of course it matters. These young players, the pressure on their shoulders, playing Premier League football, a lot of them for their first year, and that matters. But I think generally, can't really remember the point I was making, I just think we still need to just stop and just take it game by game, not lose our heads too much. Go on, Lee.
You're all right what you're saying about taking a game, but I'm telling you this now, I'm not taking another 60 feet this season.
No, exactly my point. Exactly.
Like, you know, 60 feet the first half of the season. That's got to be backed up with a 3 or 4. You know what I mean? Like at most, you know what I mean. That's what I want to be seeing. You know, and that's I don't think like 60 feet or 12 over a season is acceptable.
The 60 feet. The 60 feet include trips to Old Trafford, Anfield, Goodison, the Etihad. So we should get
better in this.
Realistically, you're expecting to lose 4 of those. Then Brentford and the Chelsea game at home. You know, COVID and whatever. Like, you can scrape and make some excuses. You can scrape and understand it. But we can't have another 6 second half of the season.
No, of course.
It's up to them to now show that them excuses for those games are, you know, they wasn't excuses, they were legitimate reasons more so than an excuse.
But, sorry, and I keep interrupting, I'm so sorry. We've also won 1 game less than Liverpool and Chelsea in the opening 19.
Hence why Strickdo started with, listen, maybe top 3.
That's pretty extraordinary.
That's pretty good.
We've won 1 game less. And remember, when they're in a title race, draws will feel like defeats to them. Now, I know some will be at the Etihad or whatever, but, you know, they're looking at wins. We've won 1 game less. That's pretty mad as well. So if he goes and wins another 11, 22 wins, you're thinking that's probably going to get you top 4.
Yeah. And so on that top 4 point and looking above more so than looking below, January's around the corner. January transfer window's around the corner. How big, Strickdo, let's start with you. How big is this window? Because for me, it's a very big window, because I've seen Arsenal in seasons gone by under Wenger especially, where January will come and we'll need something to get over the line. Maybe whether it's top 4, maybe whether it's a title challenge like Leicester year, maybe we needed a striker and we bought a Kim Kallstrom. I want Kroenke to learn off this, and the club to learn off this and understand now we're actually heading into January in a position that none of us would be sitting here saying we would have been heading into January in 4th. What are you going to do now? You mentioned Josh Kroenke and how you feel like he might have changed, and you know he's been more vocal in the past couple of years compared to the 10 before that. He says judge us since we fully took over in 2018, even though I'm against that. I think we judge them from majority ownership, but it is what it is. Since they've taken over, they've spent money. 2 years finishing 8th. This year is a big one, because like you said, if this year ends and we finish 8th, then you might as well just chuck it in the bin. But January now is key for me, because if we get one signing in a crucial area, midfield or striker, that optimism about top 4 might start becoming confidence in top 4. What do you feel about the January window? Is it as big as I'm making out, or?
I think one main, like, if you look over like the last 15 years, or like, last 10, 15 years, going into January has always been difficult, because we've never been in a good negotiating hand, because we've been always kind of been desperate for players, right? And that sometimes has put us off buying the players that that we actually needed, because we were desperate, right? But I think this time around, it's like we're sitting all right. We're in good negotiating hand. Like we can kind of go in for a player we want and kind of like not look desperate. And and I think we do. Of course, we do need players. There's always room for improvement. I personally think our midfield probably is an area that we kind of lack in. Like, I mean, Thomas Partey, I'll be honest, haven't really met the levels that he was at Atletico, that I expected from him. So I think that area's got to be addressed. And
more competition might liven him up.
There you go. And I think and also you got to remember, he's going away for the African nations.
El Nene as well.
El Nene is going away for the African nations. Roma. So that area is thin.
Who does that leave? Lokonga, Xhaka, and Patino.
No, there was one more.
Playing there, I don't know.
But you know what I mean?
Light
It's light. So I think that area needs to be addressed, and I think the most important thing is we are in a good negotiating hand, so we can kind of go out and stroll and kind of get who we want at the price we want them for. Which we haven't had the luxury of doing.
So if you had to pick central midfield or striker, you're going central midfielder, yeah?
Yeah, I think like you take away Partey.
Gaping, whereas
it's gaping.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But whereas up front, you take away Abbas, you can see we're still doing all right.
Yeah.
If you take away Laka, you can kind of put Martinelli up, up centre, and then move Smith Rowe in there. Yeah, so it's not the worst. It's not, up front's not the worst. I think the middle.
Yeah, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, because then I look at up front and I say to myself, young players for a 38-game season, in seasons gone past at other clubs, our club, you've seen that, tired legs towards the end of the season, the productivity doesn't maintain, because they're still young, they're still developing, they're getting used to the game time and whatnot. So, I'm all for buying a central midfielder, but I can also see a cause for concern maybe in the goal scoring department come February, March, April times, where the crucial. That's why there's no right or wrong. I want a central midfielder, I want a striker. I know they're not going to get both, but I just want to lean on to.
I think the task for Arsenal this January, and maybe this is my kind of expectation of what we've done over the years, is kind of clouding it. Maybe my standards are lowered because of it. Sure, I'd love Arsenal to go out there and buy two £30 million players, a midfielder and a striker, and say, top 4 is on and we're going to go grab it. I just feel that's a little unrealistic. They spent more in the summer than we expected. The January window is always difficult to negotiate in, and actually, I think Arteta's shown that this would be a third January window. They're not really going to do business they don't really want to do. They're not going to do it because they have to. They'll do it because it's the right person. I think January, the task is, can you be shrewd and bring in, like Cavani at United? Can you bring in a Cavani, someone who scores goals, good off the bench, really good mentality and attitude, experienced head, going to do a job for 6 months? Now, I know that's not really what people want to see, but remember, everyone really went in on United for the Cavani sign. Oh no, I want him. He's probably been their best striker. like their best out and out number 9 for the last 3 years, or Ronaldo, but sure. You know, I just wonder whether there's a deal in there for a midfielder. I personally don't want him, but I understand why people are talking about Ramsey on loan. I just wonder whether there's like a sensible deal that doesn't compromise our long term, but you understand how they can come in and for the 6 months bolster us a little bit. Calm head, good influence, doesn't disrupt the team, buys into everything. That's very hard to do. Now, Odegaard wasn't, when we got him in January, well, Matt Ryan's a good example, actually, as a backup keeper. Odegaard wasn't the experienced head, but he was a player who played a lot of senior football for a couple of years and addressed a position, and it made sense. Like, it was a very shrewd bit of business. I just wonder if there's anyone out there in those positions.
I don't want to be in March again, and I felt this before in March again, saying to myself, oh, in January you lot should have did this. I just don't want to be in that position because they've done great so far. Listen, I've been very critical of the club in the past, you lot all know that. But Edu and Arteta so far this season, with what they've done in the summer, it's going very well. I didn't expect to be 4th, we're 4th. But now January is here and it's another chance to maybe take the necessary risk to iron out the rest of the season and potentially get that. Edu at the beginning of the season didn't pin down a target. Maybe that's because he didn't know what to expect from this season. But surely 19 games in, you're 4th in the league. You look at your competition, West Ham, Man United, Tottenham, floors all about. Surely now you assess it a bit differently and say, minimum target has to be top 6 from here. But as an ownership, as a club, have we ever taken that necessary risk in January, whether it's paying off over the odds or whether it's, you know, just doing something out of the ordinary for Arsenal to just get us over the line, where in May, we look at the player we signed in January and said, that's it.
Bruno Fernandes was that for Man United.
Exactly, and that was it. Odegaard was a good signing for us in January when we needed that little bit of creativity. And listen, I don't think that these other teams are going to be sitting on their laurels as well, because I think that West Ham, I still think are a very, very good bet.
They're going to get Lingard, isn't it?
If they get 1 or 2 players, they get Lingard, get a couple more players, that will push them up again, like, you know. So if we stand still, we could actually get caught.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. If there's one thing I'm confident about, is what we've been doing in the transfer window over the last couple of years. We've done pretty well. So let's see what they're going to do. Yeah. They must have some sort of plan for a midfield player if they're prepared to make the Niles go. And I've always said this with Arsenal, whether you like it or not, they seem to have a plan with the transfer window and what to do with it. Last season, it was Odegaard, you know what I mean, and look what's happened with that. So that's been a good move. Yeah. So I think that maybe they will go down with a 1 or 2 things. Someone like a Ramsey, maybe. Someone like that, good attitude. You know he's got a good attitude because he's been here before. I don't know, but like someone of that ilk. And again, I'll go on to it. It may be someone we don't know, but.
Yeah, we didn't know much of them in the summer, and they've worked out well. Like you said, we've got to give credit to Arteta and Edu, and even me now. If they sign a player that I'm wary about, I'm more open to giving it a chance because of what they've done in the summer, and that's what time does. That's what things like that does. Let us know in the comments as well. January window, striker, central midfielder. Which position would you go for? Which players would you go for? Let us know some names. Before we round it up, one last question. To end on a positive, well, it's been quite a positive show. To end on a big positive, player of the season so far. I'm going to start, and I'm going to say, for me, Tomiyasu, unsung hero so far, but the way he's come in, he's shown leadership at a young age. He's solid, he's efficient, he's shown recovery pace. Aerially, a beast. In duels, he's a beast. So for me,
two-footed.
Yeah, two-footed, and that helps so much. When he's behind Saka, that helps Saka a lot too. So for me, Tomiyasu, but it's tight, you know. Emil Smith-Rowe's in there, Odegaard recently shot up, Ramsdale obviously, he's a shot. There's a few in there, but I'm going to go for Tommy.
I think I'm in agreement with you, and also because unlike the other players, he's never played in the Prem. Zero experience in the Prem, and in a pivotal area. You know, like we've had
an area that's given us headache
for years. Like with no paracetamol around.
Please, where was the paracetamol when Bellerin was bombing up and down that right hand side?
I think up until today, I actually forgot we had Bellerin still on our books. Yeah. That's how good Tomiyasu is. That name hasn't even crossed my mind. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's just, for me, he's just come in. I'm so confident when anyone is attacking his side that he's going to put in challenge. He's going to, like you said, efficient. He's going to come out victorious. He's going to he's gonna create something. He's gonna stop an attack. I'm so confident. I was never that with Bellerin.
Never.
People always talked about his pace and whatnot. But what use is your pace if you've got no sense?
Mm-hmm. And Tomiyasu has a lot of sense.
His IQ is crazy. His IQ down that side is crazy. And considering like he's a player that Sky Sports disrespected, no one even knew of him. You could say rightfully so. You've never heard of a player, but he's come in and he's elevated us. He's definitely my player of the season so far.
Yeah, I'm sure they've heard of him now. James.
Yeah, big up Tomiyasu, but mine is Gabriel.
That's a fair one.
Me and Lee, yeah.
Oh, you're with Gabriel as well?
Yeah, I'm with Gabriel as well, yeah.
I just think, I don't know how to explain
That's
it.
a big shout though, you know, that's a fair shout.
I just think he's just got like, I don't know how to say it without sounding really weird, he just has this aura, like this presence, this like, and I said in my fan cam after Norwich, there was one point they had a 3-on-2 or 2-on-1, they were running at us, and we kind of got a bit picked off. But you were like, oh, it's Gabriel there, so it's kind of fine. And when we lost 4-0 at Anfield, no one really wanted to say it. Salah didn't actually have a great game. Tavares and Gabriel did a good job down that side. But there were a few one-on-ones where it really opened up. And Gabriel rose to it and didn't, I think won all his duels against him. And he's just got, since he's come in and formed a really great partnership with Ben White, may I say, they complement each other really well. But Gabriel's just been, leader, but just that composure. Like, I don't think you can underestimate how much Partey, Xhaka and the youngsters, how they can do their thing because they know there's Gabriel behind. And I'd also add how much Gabriel and White can do their thing because there's Ramsdale behind. And so these foundations are so important. But I think he sets the tone a lot more than people think for how we play and our better performances. I've just loved him. I remember the Villa game, early scrap. No, we're not having it today. And I just love him. Harry Kane doesn't get a sniff in the North London derby. He's been
Definitely
immense.
increased his presence this year. That's for sure.
With me, I think like the first 3 games we were shambolic. He comes in and steadies the ship. What I like about him is that we can push up because we don't get hit on the counter attack because he's got the pace to get back. Where for the first time in a very, very long while, we've got a proper central defender. Someone that can defend, has got pace, got power. He's ticks all the boxes.
Sense. I've got sense.
A lot,
and he's got
we lack so much sense. I'm telling you.
He's got a little bit of Devlin, and he can play as well. And I think he's got a good partnership with Ben White. Tomiyasu has been fantastic as well. Has got to be said. And so Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe has been the shining light as the attacking sense. But I think it's been built on our defensive unit, and I just think that Gabriel's just shaded it for me.
I think that's fair, and that roundup was good. Tommy, Gabriel, and Emil Smith Rowe. I'd say top 3 with Ramsdale knocking firmly on that door. It's mad.
I put this question out on Twitter. I asked people their top 5 because it was so hard, and everyone was sending in. Also, some people had Ben White in there, some had Odegaard, had some Lacazette. And you're thinking, actually, well, if you just take the average of their performances, Lacazette does deserve a shout. So, loads of players have been absolutely terrific.
Odegaard's been different class. Last 4 or 5 games.
Odegaard.
Because he loses class.
Martin then. The last few games he's really come on, but I think he was patchy at times. I thought had a very good game against Spurs.
Have we said Saka? Sorry.
There's another one.
His response from the Euros and all that, unbelievable.
Again, he's been on a slow burner, but he's burning lovely now. So,
and I'd love to include Martinelli in that, but like we just talked about, it's only been the last few games for him. Hopefully, end of the season, Martinelli's in with a shout there.
Listen, if we're talking about bringing in Martinelli into the equation, we're bringing Odegaard into the equation, and all these guys carry on doing what they're doing.
Then we'll be here at the end of the season.
It's a great shout that you can have 4, 5, 6 players.
Yeah, and we haven't had that for a very, very long
time. That itself, one moment he said Gabriel, I was like, oh yeah.
Same.
I was damn, I forgot about Gabriel. And then, Ben White, oh yeah. Ramsdale, oh yeah. Bear, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had that in so long. It's felt for so long we played with six players.
Yeah, we haven't been happy with the squad for a long time.
Do you know what I mean?
Who are our top 5 players last season?
Don't even
being
ask me that
serious.
question. I wanted to end on a positive, James, and you're trying to drag me back to
but
that.
that's kind of
It's
the point.
positive, isn't it, that
Last year we couldn't name.
We couldn't name 5. Now you've got
2 or 3.
Yeah, well, the Emil Smith
So there's the
Saka
positive.
last year, wasn't it?
Like Tierney was like always named.
Tierney,
But then
yeah.
Tavares comes in and you're like, how the hell is Tierney getting back in the
Yeah,
team?
people start
Yeah.
questioning
Do
that.
you know what I mean? That is how happy I am, how
Yeah.
good we are so far. That you can name at least 5, 6, 7 players. Like,
Keep this going,
No,
Arsenal.
mate.
Please keep this going.
James, Stricto, Lee, thanks for coming down. Hope you guys have enjoyed another supporters club. A couple Tomiyasu votes here and a couple Gabriel votes. Who's been your player of the season so far? Again, let me know, let us know in the comments below. Before you leave, hit the like button, share it, tag us, do all of that. I'll repost it, people. Love for the love as always. And yeah, on to Man City next. Come on, Arsenal. Let's
come
do it.
on!
What's going on, my people? Welcome to another episode of Ask the Fans, and we are out here in the streets of North London around the Emirates Stadium in December, but soon to be January. And you know what that means? The January transfer window opens. Now I want to know from you guys and the people around the stadium, what position do we need to strengthen and what players would you like to see at Arsenal in January? Let's go. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the year. The January window is about to open. I want to ask you, what positions do Arsenal need to fill or position this January?
We definitely need center mids.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a few players leave, and then I think a striker, Dusan Vlahovic.
They need to fill the centre mid.
Yep.
And Frank Kessie is probably one of the players that they need to look at.
Yeah, I like Frank Kessie, young, kind of like Thomas Partey in a sense, just a lot younger version. So you think midfield is the position that needs to be covered, yeah?
Yeah, I think it would really kind of strengthen their formation and have a much better strategy.
I think definitely a striker.
Yep.
And maybe a better cover in the centre mid. So obviously we got the AFCON coming up. So we need positions there covering. I'd like to see Vlahovic.
Yep.
Well, I feel like we need another number 9.
Yep.
Because Lacazette is out of contract at the end of the season.
Yep.
Aubameyang, obviously, there's a big situation with him, whether he's there, but he's obviously going. So I feel like we need a really good established number 9. Ideally with Premier League experience.
Yeah. Any names that come to mind there?
I'd like to see, honestly, like Calvin Lewin.
Yeah.
Some young up and coming English striker. I think it's very important. He's been playing at Everton. He's doing really well. He's kind of proved himself already. Premier League experience. You know what I mean? Big, tall centre half, aerial threat, hold up play. Exactly what we need, especially with all the like attacking midfielders that we have.
Yeah. Would you think he's an upgrade on Lacazette as well there? Because some would say that he's kind of similar to Lacazette in the sense he brings other players apart from the headers.
The reason I say with him because he's young. So with him, it's a guaranteed, 8-7 seasons.
He can improve, yeah.
You know what I mean? And he can improve. And I feel like a club like Arsenal will really help elevate his game. For me, that's what I feel that Arsenal need right now. Someone like him, and bring him in now with Lacazette there, just to get up to speed.
Yeah.
Striker.
We need a striker. We need some more goals, you think, yeah?
Yeah.
Especially with Lacazette leaving soon and maybe Nketiah not signing another contract as well. I think that makes sense. Okay, what player comes to mind that you would like to see sign at Arsenal?
Coutinho.
Okay, so a midfielder as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Quickly, what position do Arsenal need to strengthen in January for you? Quickly.
Definitely midfielder.
Midfield?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone in mind?
For me personally, they try and get Otto, the guy from Juventus, Otto Cabra.
I'd say a new striker.
Okay. Any strikers that come to mind that you'd like to see sign in January?
Maybe not January, maybe next year.
Okay.
Because I don't think we can buy a big player in January, but maybe next year.
I'd say Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, you'd like Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
Yeah, man. He's Premier League proven. He's English. He's big. He's strong. He can win headers. That's why we score many goals now from headers from corners with defenders, but strikers, it's always around the box, the edge of the boxes. There's no whipping it in from the sides for headers and stuff. So I think he would bring a lot to the team, that side of things.
Okay.
Defensive midfield wise, I'm not sure who's out there really.
What sort of profile of defensive midfield? Like someone to go alongside, obviously it'll be Xhaka in there when the African Cup of Nations are on.
Yeah.
So someone that can get forward as well and score goals, or someone that just sits and kind of be the pivot?
I think just someone that dictates the play in the midfield really. Like Partey, I've noticed that Partey without Xhaka is a completely different player. Like Xhaka does all the dirty work, and then Partey has the freedom to do what he wants to do. When he's playing without Xhaka, you notice a big difference. So I think either someone that can do the same as Partey, if not offer a little bit more going forward, maybe. But then you've got like Odegaard, Smith Rowe are performing exceptionally well at the moment.
I would love to bring Kante in. Yeah, exactly. Kante would be my favourite choice.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. Me too.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so I think we should move out Xhaka and Nene and get someone who's better in that position. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a striker. It's perhaps one of our main positions that we need to fill at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I think priority should be a striker. What about you, little man?
Yeah, I think it's striker as well.
Yeah?
Striker.
Okay. Any names that kind of pop to mind for you that you'd like to see signed in January?
I don't know. There's so many been banded around on the media at the moment. I'm trying to think the Fiorentina guy.
Oh, Vlahovic.
Vlahovic. I can never pronounce his name.
No, same.
Yeah.
Same.
I think he seems to be the right sort of age for what we're recruiting at the moment.
21. Very young.
And he's smashing them home. So I think he sounds like a good shout.
Yeah, Vlahovic. Any strikers for you?
I like Lautaro Martinez.
Yes. A good striker at the moment. I think he's an option as well. So yeah, Lautaro Martinez. Yeah.
Yeah, Lautaro Martinez.
I reckon we need to strengthen in the striker position.
Why'd you say striker?
Because if Martinelli gets injured, that's it. We're gonna struggle for goals. We're in a good run, but we need to keep going at that.
Yeah.
Improve it even more.
Yeah. Is any strikers that come to mind for you that we should sign?
Well, it's kind of hard. They're talking about Calvin Lewis, but he's been injured all year.
Exactly that.
There's no point buying him. And in January, it's difficult to buy the proper signings that we need.
Yeah, I agree with that. But people are saying Vlahovic, maybe Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney, but you think none of those will fit?
Probably the guy from Fiorentina, probably.
Vlahovic,
yeah, he might come. Watkins, he might be alright, but maybe not for Arsenal level, yeah.
Midfield?
Yeah, Frank de Jong.
Frank de Jong, that's the player you want to see come through this January. Nothing on the strikers?
Maybe. But Aubameyang is good. He's just a little bit in a slump, I guess. Like I said, they've got decent. They're at form, I think.
Yeah, but priority for you is the midfield, yeah? Okay, let me ask you, position and player you would like to see this January?
Steven Berghuis from Ajax.
Okay, yeah.
Striker. He scores a lot of goals.
So, are you worried that, that obviously Lacazette his contract's up at the end of the season, Aubameyang, we don't really know what's going on with him, and Nketiah's not going to sign another contract. You're saying a striker is definitely needed, yeah?
Yes, they need to score more goals.
More goals.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe pick up Haller.
Okay, yeah.
He's been good at Ajax this year.
Well, I think because Partey is not doing so much, so I think a central defensive midfielder would be a good position.
Okay. And any players that come to mind in that position, and any player for you that you'd like to see Arsenal sign?
Well, for me, I go for Kondogbia.
Jeffrey Kondogbia, yeah?
Yes, that would be a good addition.
Striker and a good CDM.
A good CDM?
Yeah.
Any names that spring to mind for you?
Jonathan David from Lille.
Yep.
The Florentina striker, I forgot what his name is.
Vlahovic?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And CDM Renato Sanchez.
Striker.
Yeah. What striker? Give me quick. Anyone.
Benzema.
Arsenal fan?
Yes.
Yes. What position do Arsenal need to fill in January? Quickly.
He's going to be Bean, yeah.
What position though? What striker, midfielder, defender do you think we need?
Striker. All the time.
I'll also be asking the fans about the rumours of Jack Wilshere signing on a short-term deal back at Arsenal, like what they did with Thierry back in 2012. Would this be something you'd like to see? What about Jack Wilshere? There's word that he might sign on a short loan to fill that midfield space while the African Cup of Nations are on. Would you like to see him return?
If he can, then yeah, might as well, yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Jack, come back, mate. He's definitely needed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Jack Wilshere was one of the best midfielders. Even Xavi used to talk a lot about how impressive is Jack Wilshere. So for sure, I would like to see him again at Arsenal Football Club.
For the dressing room, for the young players, it's an ideal. Why not? Why not? I don't expect him to play every game, but for those kind of key moments, last 10 minutes, last 15 minutes, come in, close out the game.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's a top player.
Okay. What about you?
Yes, good player, Jack. Yes.
His experience would help.
Yeah.
But I think we need something in the long run.
Okay, so more what he's been doing at the moment, just training with the team and kind of being there, and maybe potentially on the bench if needed, but definitely need to strengthen that midfield position, you're saying. Yeah?
Yeah.
I guess we could use his expertise, but I don't know how, if he signs, I don't know if he's going to get any playing time. Right. What about Ramsey? I mean, if he gets his contract terminated at Juve, would you want to see him?
I don't know if he was alive when Jack Wilshere was at Arsenal Football Club, but would you like to see Jack Wilshere return on a short spell?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Definitely?
Yeah.
You think someone we need in that midfield?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take him over Partey, definitely.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But the problem is the injuries just ruined his career, so.
Yeah.
But maybe he'd be good for the youngsters to like bit of experience in the team.
Unlike a short-term thing, probably like a pay-as-you-play kind of thing. But I think anything long-term, I think it's a bit risky with Jax. He's very injury-prone, isn't he? It's a bit like Ramsey.
I actually wouldn't mind it. I don't see him being as a starter, but as sort of a backup. You know, if Xhaka gets another red card or something, it's to bring him on just to sort of reinforce in that position. But I wouldn't be against it.
Okay, yeah. What about you, little man? Jack Wilshere to return?
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Jack Wilshere back in action.
I think he's a strong player, and I think that he would continue to play strong, and he has like a lot of opportunity for getting better in development. So I think he's a good investment of a player.
Nah, he's always injured. He's always in the treatment table. Don't get me wrong. He's been there all his life, but his best has passed now.
Not really. But it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
We need that. That's a position, if Arteta thinks that's a good player to sign, by all means.
Yeah, sure, why not? For the experienced player like Jack Wilshere, I think it's a good addition for the squad because we have a very young talent, very young squad. So I think it's a very good addition for the Arsenal team.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. He's Arsenal through and through, man. Even if he only gets a pay and play contract, I mean, 1 or 2 games, 3 games, however many it is, you know he's going to give 100%. He's going to give 100% more than anyone. He loves the club, so.
It's cold, it's wet, and it's raining. It's clear that the January window is upon us, and after our last window, by being the record breakers, I expect a big window this January. You've heard what the people have to say in this video. Most fans want to see a centre defensive mid or striker. I have to agree. I think striker for me, though, personally, should be priority. But let us know in the comments below, what position do we need to fill this January? And what players do you have in mind? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Ask the Fans. Got a big Arsenal fan here. What have you thought of Arteta so far in his 2-year tenure at Arsenal? Has he been good, yay or nay? What's going on, my people? I'm back for another episode of Ask the Fans, and I'm down here on match day at the Emirates Stadium. But what I want to know from you and the people here at the ground, what have you made of Mikel Arteta so far at Arsenal Football Club? And also, what would you rate him out of 10 in his 2-year tenure? Let's go. So, Mikel Arteta, this week's his 2 years in the job here at Arsenal Football Club. What have you made of it so far?
The man's got discipline.
Yep.
He knows what he's doing.
Yep.
Everyone has to wake up and rise to the occasion of playing for this football club.
Yep.
And losers are not allowed at Arsenal. So we have to all respect Arteta. Forget about the 3 games at the beginning.
Yep.
We look at today and we look at that everyone eventually is starting to play for him.
Yep.
We're picking up the points, and you know what? Not bad to finish 3rd this year, guaranteed from Save the Greek.
3rd, yeah?
3rd this year, guaranteed from Save the Greek.
Okay, big up. Let me ask you, give him a rating out of 10 for his 2 years so far.
I have to be honest now, yeah? If I'm going to go with the process, whatever you call it, I'm going to give him a 8.5.
8.5? That's still high, it's a good rating.
Yeah, 8.5. If I'm going to go by our expectations as Arsenal fans, it's going to be a 7.
Okay, yeah.
But let's go, 8.5 Arteta.
If he gets that 3rd spot, would it be a 9 for you?
It's going to be a 9, yeah.
It's been ups and downs, it's been everywhere. Like, first 3 games started off 20th. We were like, okay, is this really going somewhere? Then it's built up. We're now 4th going into Christmas. I'm starting to believe... credit to them though. I'm starting to believe if we can get top 4, and probably win this tournament, I can probably start trusting the process.
Right.
Meantime, if we don't get top 4, win this, we'll see where it goes from there. But in my opinion, get top 4 is the main option. That's for me. It's top 4. I would love to have Champions League football back. We're all here would love to have Champions League football back. It's what we need.
100%.
So, and plus my rating for Mikel will probably be 6 out of 10. If you get
6, okay.
If you get top 4, probably 8 or 9.
Okay, 8 or 9. From 6 to 8 or 9. Okay, fair enough. Would you give him another contract yet, or would you wait until the end of the season?
It's hard to comment on that. I'll see where we end up at the end of the season, because obviously we still got to go through January, through all that. We've still got to go City at home in the first home game, Chelsea away, Tottenham away. We've still got all that. We'll see where we end up at the end of the season, and then I'll make my comment.
I'd say quite shaky, but you know, he's had good periods. I think he's quite tactically. I think he's good, but with the team selection, I don't quite think he's a.
Why would you say that? Who's players you kind of want to see that you think should be playing at Arsenal?
I know I might get a bit of stick for this, because you got Smith on one side and Saka, but I think Pepe deserves another shot. Because on his day, he is a baller. An absolute baller.
Okay. Let me ask you. Give me a score, a rating out of 10 for Arteta's 2 years.
I'm saying 6 or 7. More leaning towards a 6.
Okay.
Because under his reign, we've been in our worst period in 30 years. But he's starting to turn it around, and honestly, I haven't been more excited about a club in a while since against Fulham at home where we won 3-0.
All right. What does he need? Sorry to cut you there. What does he need to do for you to make it a 7?
I would say, for the board, I think he's going to have to get European football. But for me, I'm going to say Champions League.
Arteta's got 2 years in the job at Arsenal. How have you rated his time here so far?
I think he's been good. Obviously, he's had a bit of flack in the press for his lack of experience, but he's come in, he's done his first job. He's now playing with his players, and you're starting to see a difference in the way the team are performing. And he's definitely got the dressing room behind him.
Yeah, 100%. Give me a rating for the whole season. Out of 10, what would you rate him so far?
I'd say a good solid 7.
7, yeah. Fair.
You know, there's still some work to do in January and in the summer in the transfer market to get his full squad, I suppose. But I think he's done really well tactically. He's fallen a little bit short in some games, but that's part of the learning experience. You know, without the experience, he's not going to improve, and we need him to get the experience to improve his team and get him back where they should be in Europe.
Yeah. What for you? What does he need to get another contract at the end of this season?
Top 6 absolute minimum into the Europa League. But I think, you know, we're not in Europe this year. All the teams around us going for top 4. They're all in Europe, apart from Tottenham, who went out yesterday. So top 6 minimum, but this year, if we can get into the top 4, we can really build and attract those top players that we need to move on and get us challenging the top 3, which we're quite a bit off at the moment.
FA Cup saved him. Long way to go. It's been good. I'm seeing the process. Like you guys always say, what is the process? How long is the process?
We're starting to kind of see it come to life.
I see it. Some of the kids may have saved him. The only thing I always think, could the players have played that way without him, with an upgrade? Right. That's all I think. I'm not talking about upgrading him. If this goes out, people that know me are going to watch this, so I can't be saying that anyway. But that's it. That's it. He's good. I'm happy for now.
Give me a score out of 10. Give me a score out of 10 over his 2 years. What have you rated it? It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, he's 6.
6, yeah? 6. What pushes it to like an 8 for you?
4th, not another 8th, not another 6th. Yeah, that's all.
So 6.
It's a 6
for now.
8.
Considering what he come into, he's done a pretty good job with getting you to 4th, and you're looking like you're going to get Champions League next year. So it's quite good compared to what you kind of with what Arsenal left with. Although he's a club legend, but he didn't leave the club in the greatest of states. Whereas now, 2 years on, you're thinking Arteta could become a world-class manager with time. If you give him time and the money and the backing from the board, he might. You never know. He might be.
Us.
So he's done very well considering what he come into.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let me ask you how you think he's done in his 2 years.
Arsenal fan, right? He came in. I wasn't too sure about him. What's it called? Coming under Pep Guardiola. But when he came in, I was the FA Cup. That was quite good as well. I'll take that. FA Cup and the Community Shield. But what's it called? When he came in and let him build his squad, he's actually not doing too bad. When he brought in the Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Gabriel Martinelli giving him minutes as well, scoring the other day. I think he's actually not done bad. I saw what's it called on the Instagram this morning. What would you rate Mikel Arteta's thing out of?
That's going to be my next question. What you rated his year over 2 years?
I'd give him a 7. I'd actually give him a 7. I'd honestly give him a 7. He hasn't done too bad with the club. I genuinely think he's a good manager. I'm not going to lie to you. You just have to give him time, give managers squads to squad develop. I don't think he hasn't done a bad job at all.
Nice. Let me get a score from you out of 10 over the 2 years. What would you give him?
I would say about a 7 as well, because it's fair. Because you've got trophies, but obviously you're not where Arsenal should be, which is winning leagues. But you've done well. So.
Yeah. Okay. What gets him? Sorry, to an 8-9 for you guys.
Win the Prem.
Wait, that's only a 9. What about you?
A Champions League spot, a comfortable Champions League spot. Obviously, this season, I reckon we could get Europa. I think we should comfortably get Europa this season. But in 2 years' time, I want to get Europa spots and challenge for like top 4, top 3, if that makes sense.
Mikel Arteta, you know, the process has been spoken about so much in his 2 years. What have you rated his 2 years so far here at Arsenal?
I actually think it's been quite solid. Yeah. I think about an 8, I would say.
Okay.
Because his first year, he'd done the best with what he had. Because I think the club, after 22 years of Wenger, it wasn't really dealt with under Emery, ideally. But he done the best of what he got in. You know, he won us an FA Cup. But I think last summer was especially critical for him because it was his first big window, like sort of coming out of COVID. And I think every signing, you can't really argue with the signings that he's had. I mean, they've all come into the team and they've all had a solid start. But I think he really needs to get us back to top 4, I think, for him to stay. But the one thing I will be critical of him is how he dealt with Ozil and Aubameyang. Okay. I sort of think...
Is there no way back for Aubameyang for you, do you think, from what you've seen from Mikel Arteta?
I think it's up to him. You mean he always works hard, he always speaks highly of the club, but I just think when you've fallen out with the manager, it's sort of hard to play your way back in. But it's all down to him now. He's got to get his head down because he's obviously very outlandish with like his sort of style. So I think he just has to walk away from the social media aspect, which he's done. I've not really seen him on there too much, but he just has to get his head down and keep working and prove that he deserves a start, because at the moment he's not getting in over our front three at the minute, I don't think. But yeah, I just think it's about keeping consistency, because obviously we've played a lot more games than the other teams, but it's just about not dropping points where we can and just hopefully keep the momentum going.
It's been alright actually. First 2 years it's been excellent. He's obviously the young squad he's made. It's a lot more better than the previous squad we had, and yeah, we're making progress.
So there's a lot of things to like so far. Give me a rating out of 10 for his 2 years.
Well, we've had ups and downs recently. So I'll give him a 7 for what he's done. Okay. You know, young players like Emil Smith-Rowe, Saka, making progress.
Okay, it's a solid 7. I want to know what earns him another contract here at Arsenal Football Club. What do you want to see from him?
Tactic-wise, I want to see it improve. And hopefully can sell a lot more players like Kolasinac and all that, so we can new players.
So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard from the fans here at the Emirates Stadium on match day. A lot of positivity around here. I love to see it. No one rated Mikel Arteta below a 5. It's all 7s and 8s and 1 6. Let me know in the comments below what you give Mikel Arteta for his 2 years. What rating would you give him? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Ask the Fans.
Hi and welcome along to the Invincibles podcast. Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, yeah. Did you have a nice Christmas?
Oh, it's brilliant. Brilliant. You know what I mean, family, lots of present opening for them, right? And lots of drinking and eating and what you do at Christmas. But it was nice though, I really enjoyed it. And then on Boxing Day, watch that Demolition Job.
Yeah.
You know, that just rounded off the Christmas really, really nice. And I was gutted when, you know, our game got cancelled against Wolves, and then, you know, now we've heard that Arteta's also out with COVID, you know what I mean? So the COVID thing's been going around, but it was a good Christmas for me, good Christmas. Last year Christmas, as I've said a few times here, I was in bed with COVID.
I remember that.
So to be enjoying myself this year, it was, you know, I gave...
We had a couple of good Boxing Days. Like last year was 3-1 against Chelsea.
Yeah,
Boxing Day. That was in the studio because obviously, you know. And then
this one here, we was actually in the studio watching it 5-0.
5-0. How was yours?
I had a very good Christmas. Like, got absolute sport on the present front. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah?
So I got some nice presents. So,
Ooh.
I got a running machine.
A running machine?
Running machine.
That's a good present.
Yeah, very good present, like, you know. So, yeah.
You been on it?
No, I haven't got it set up. I think I might need someone to come around and set it up. Like, so if anybody knows how to set up a running machine, let me know. Like, you know. So, yeah. So that's going out running in the cold, wet weather. So that was a good one. Like, yeah. So yeah, thoroughly spoiled. Food, overeaten, but you know.
So, yeah.
You got to do it.
Well, you got the running machine to get it.
Well, that's it. That's right. I'll running machine when I get back.
Yeah,
you know? So,
I tell you, I've been thinking after sort of the Christmas is sort of winding down a bit. Well, obviously we still got New Year's. I've been starting to think now about health. You know what I mean? And gym and stuff like that. Because I'm like, I ate a lot over the Christmas, man. But listen, it's only, you know, you got to, innit? You got to enjoy it.
Yeah, you got to do it. Like, you know, I'm certainly not going to worry about it until after. I went hospitality again on that Man City game. So
here we go.
I'm going to indulge on that, like, you know, and then after that, like, start watching it. Well, then we've got like after that we've got Liverpool away with Forest. So we've got a few games coming up.
Yeah. You know, I was looking at January. And January is a really busy month.
Yeah, busy
month.
Right?
Even though at the end of January there's like a week off. I don't know if you realise that. The last week in January there's no games. I think that's something to do. Remember when a lot of teams were asking about having a break. I think that's sort of the UK
I didn't know
January break. But the last weekend, I think it's the weekend of the 22nd of January or the following week. There's a week.
So only FA Cup.
No, because I think the FA Cup's the week after that, so I think there's a week off. But basically, this month we've got, January should I say, we've got the Liverpool game, 2 legs, right? Which was, you know, that first one kicks off on a Thursday night. Then the Sunday we've got Nottingham Forest. Then the following Thursday we've got Liverpool again. Then the Sunday we've got Tottenham, right? And then I think followed by Burnley after that. So it's a busy month with a lot of games on and
Thursday lark for Thursday. What's all that
it's TV, Lee, man. You already know, man. It's TV. It's like they're trying their hardest to get us into the Europa League. Europa League settings.
I thought, well, that's all right. Wednesday, get up there Wednesday. You know, like Thursday night, we normally do film and all that. So it's like, you know, but and now like. Put it on a Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night. But then does that help us a little bit because it gives a little break up until that game?
Well, we've got the Spurs in on the Sunday. So
that's the following week. Yeah, we've got 2 Sunday games. So one Sunday game's Nottingham Forest away, FA Cup.
Yeah, so we play Thursday. Then we play
Remember last time we played them in the FA Cup away? Remember that? Yeah. Right, and then the following week after that, Tottenham, which is going to be a huge game right now. For Arsenal, you know. But yeah, feel good factors around Arsenal at the moment. Obviously, that can be quickly erased when we play against Man City. But that game against Manchester City, how are you feeling about it? Obviously, you know Mikel Arteta, he's not going to be in the dugout for that game. His assistants are going to be taking charge. But how are you feeling about that game? Can we beat Man City? They're one of them teams that
we owe them.
Home and away, they always do us. Home, away, cup games. Over recent years, they've just had our number.
We owe them. And I'll tell you what, you know, like, they're mentioning about Cancelo now, like, you know, because I know that it was a bad tackle from Granit Xhaka. He shouldn't have dived in, didn't touch him. And he rolled around all the time, like, you know what I mean? So I hope they've got a nice little present for him when he comes down here, like, you know what I mean? Hopefully a slap in the tunnel or something like that. You know? So,
you do like a bit of violence,
I don't forget things like that, like, you know what I mean? It wouldn't have made a difference on the day, but, you know, the dark arts of the game, I like that. So you've got to, you know, remember it and bottle it up, Arsenal. And, you know, listen, what's great about this game on Saturday is, apart from Spurs, every other club wants us to win, to keep the championship going and all that, like, you know. So, you know, we can do the Premier League a favour by stopping City, and I think we will. I honestly, genuinely think we will.
What beat them?
I think we'll beat them. Yeah.
What brings you to that conclusion?
Because do you know what? I think it's 9 games we haven't beaten them in. You know, and law of averages say at some stage it will happen. I think we've beaten them in the FA Cup. I think it was the last time we beat them, you know. And I just feel that, you know, somewhere along the line, City have have been playing very, very, very well. But I do believe this, Robbie. I believe they've got to play again on. I think it's tonight, and I think they're playing one of it's tonight and tomorrow. We've had a nice 5 days rest. I know we've got COVID and all that, like. But I think at the end of the day, you know, they keep changing, chopping their squad around all the time, which is, you know, somewhere along the line it might just bite them.
Yeah, but you know what it is, Lee? If any team, I look at it and I'm starting to realise why City win the league so many times, right? And they've just got an unbelievable squad, right? So, like, even at the moment, if you notice, Guardiola's one of the few managers that ain't really going on about, you know, these amount of games being played back to back.
Yeah,
probably because he's won them all, right? So he don't care. But you know, they've had games they played recently. We had Grealish on the bench, Foden on the bench. Then they'll have another game. They've got Mahrez on the bench, Sterling on the bench, right? You know, they've got John Stones is on the bench. Last season they had Laporte on the bench.
Well, De Bruyne's hardly played, is he? Really?
They've had De Bruyne sort of in and out. They've had Fernandinho on the bench. You know what I mean? It's literally, they do have 2 world-class teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's been no Kyle Walker recently. You know what I mean? He's been
Well, he's
out.
not been missed, has he? Like,
And he's not been missed. No. You tell me another team that wouldn't miss a player of his calibre. You know, it's just their squad is unreal. And it's periods like this when we go into December, you know, where you've got back-to-back games that stretch your squad to the limit, that they're able to cope with. And in a way, I think somebody suggested it the other day, saying that in a way, the Wolves game being called off might have helped Arsenal, because being able to cope with 3 games in quick succession, we would probably have had to have either left out a load of players against Wolves or left out players against City. Now we can go into that City game, and hopefully, if there's no, I don't think there's any injuries, but if there's no COVID cases, further COVID cases to the team, we can go in with a hopefully unchanged team against Man City. Obviously, I don't think there'll be no Tomiyasu. I think he'll still probably be isolating. But we could go in with an unchanged team. And if we can go in with an unchanged team, that does give us a chance, because the team's been playing, it's been on form. I think the fans are going to be up for it, because, you know, the fans have been watching from a distance, the majority of them. The Arsenal have been playing really well. We'll be looking forward to go to the Emirates and really get behind them. So I don't know if it's a great opportunity, because they've been on fire though. They ain't lost a game in how long? So, but listen, I think definitely the Arsenal that's going to be taking on Manchester City is in a lot better shape than the Arsenal that took on Manchester City at the Etihad earlier on in the season, where, you know, we were at back-to-back defeats. We just went into that game just so below, you know, just with.
Well, you just knew you weren't going to win.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You know,
Yeah.
you went up there. You knew you weren't going to win. I knew we're coming into the shootout. We wasn't going to win that game. But this game, for me, Robbie, this could be a massive, massive, decisive game changer towards getting to top 4. If
Definitely.
Arsenal win this game, then let's be honest, everybody's expecting us not to win this game, right? Yeah. So like the Tottenhams and the Man Uniteds and those teams in the West Hams and all that going, City at home, they ain't going to win. But if Arsenal were to win that game, that would be a massive shot in the arm for us. But also, that would deflate the other team. They haven't dropped. If we could just get over the line in this one, it would be a massive, massive call to get us into the or a chance to get into the top 4. Also, I'm going to have to say this. I know Mikel's not going to be there now, but he'll still be able to do his stuff from on the phone or whatever. This would be a massive boost for Mikel Arteta, because at this moment in time, there's a lot of fans like myself. There's a lot of fans that are still not convinced, because, you know, we beat these teams, but then can he go and... If he was to go and beat Manchester City, I don't think then you can turn around and say, right, start... if you're knocking Mikel, then you've got an agenda against him, right? You know, you know, I'm going to be really honest. After that Everton game, did I think that I would... If someone said to me after the Everton game, I honestly thought we'd win the games that we have done, you know, and I knew that. But would someone said to me, going into the Man City game, you'll have confidence you might get something out of it. I would have gone, no way. Whatever's happened, whether it's a little bit of luck, and I do think he's had a little bit of luck, because if the Aubameyang thing forced him to play Martinelli, and it's been a wonderful move for the team. You know, this is where Mikel now can really start picking up points, brownie points, and fans going to have to turn around and start saying, yeah, do you know what, I was wrong. I was wrong, you know what I mean? I should have backed him, I should have done this, should have done that. If they was to lose this game and lose heavily, people are going to come out and go, oh well, yeah, you're expected to beat Southampton, you're expected to, when it comes up to one of these big teams. These next 2 league games, Man City at home, Spurs away, tough games, if he gets no points from those games, people will be back on his case again, and there's question marks. But if he could nail this one against Man City, it takes all the pressure going off to the
I think it's a belief. If you beat Manchester City, all of a sudden you have belief that, you know what, we can beat Spurs away. We can beat Liverpool when they come to our place. Yeah. We can beat Man United when they come to our place. Because a lot of these big teams as well have got to come to our place.
Exactly.
Right? So the belief that you gain, you know, like you said, people don't say, well, it was only Norwich, and it was only... They're like, hey, you know what? I believe in my team.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe in these players.
They need that. We need that result.
We need that.
We need this against City.
We need one of them big
we need a
wins
big
against.
Win.
You know, I was watching the other night. I was watching the Liverpool Leicester game, and Leicester, depleted squad. You know, literally a makeshift back line. They rode their luck.
Yeah.
But they won the game. The belief that that's going to give those players now. We beat Liverpool at home. Our fans are right behind us. They love that result. It gives you so much. That belief thing can really push you on. Can really, you know.
It can ignite. It could really go. It could push you in. If we was to beat Man City, and I'm not saying that we can or we can't. I'm just saying that we've got an opportunity. There is a chance. You've got to ride your luck as like Leicester did. But if you was to win that game, the boost and the confidence going into the next few games, it would also get you in a run of, like, you could possibly go in 10, 12, 15 games unbeaten. All of a sudden, Robbie, things are looking a lot better. Yeah. But you know, I watched Man United versus Newcastle. Great performance from Newcastle. And I'm looking at it thinking, how have we lost to that Man United side? There's still that little bit of in me that's really peeved by the way we lost to them.
But that wasn't, you know, I look back at that Man United performance, I didn't think it was a terrible performance.
No, it wasn't.
It was a good performance, turned on a penalty that we stupidly gave away. We should have got out of there at least with a draw. A draw away at Old Trafford, despite how United have been playing, wouldn't have been.
But there's that negativity. It's still
doubt. But we didn't turn over another one of them teams.
Yeah, exactly. So if it was to turn over the best team in the country on form as they are, you know,
it'd be huge.
It would be huge going into the January fixtures later.
You know, because we've got big boys in January. We've got Liverpool. We've got Spurs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So these are all huge games. You know what I mean? Even though, you know, you can Carabao Cup semi-final, huge game, 2 legs of Liverpool. Can we do that? Tottenham away, where we've not won for God knows how long. Can we do that? So these are huge moments coming up now for Mikel Arteta. Come through those positively. Wow, what could we do this season? But going back to Man City, I was watching them again the other day, and I'm like, what is the best way to play them? How do you beat them? I see teams, they allow them to have loads of the ball, but they still don't beat them. Is there an argument to say be a bit more on the front foot against them? Or is that suicide? I don't know. They're such a hard team to play because they've always got all the possession.
They have, and I watched the Leicester game, and Leicester hit them on the break 3-4 times, and actually should have got to 4-4.
Yeah.
So that's the way to do it. You know, like suck them in and then hit them on the break. Now,
but we tried that when we first played them.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many teams.
Away silly goals, Robin.
So many teams have tried that this season. You know what I mean?
We got Sterling
Chelsea
scoring from
tried
the 6 yard with headers. You know, in the first couple of minutes. Cut that out. You know, let them come on you and then hit them on the break with the pace and pat, and then you've got to be clinical.
Yeah, is there not another way to play him there? Everyone tries that, it don't work.
Well, it
doesn't work, does it?
I would say to them, like, let them have the ball wide. Let them have the ball wide, and force them to cross it. If they force them to cross it, you know, we've got good enough central defenders to head the ball out and then hit them on the break. You know, just be. I think if we can go in that game, don't give them nothing silly. Be, you know, like very compact in that middle, and then we've got players. I don't care what anybody says. You know what I mean? Is there anybody better? Saka's performance the other night was sensational again. I'll tell you what I'm going to say. It's the disrespect. This is why I'm going. I don't want to listen to other channels and like, you know, the BBC and all that. The disrespect. I'll let him go inside. They've not watched him in the last sort of 6-7 games. He can go outside, by the way. Saka.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Oh, he's stupid because you showed him inside. So, listen, he can go outside as well.
He can go inside.
He goes inside. You don't know where he's going.
So he can do what he likes. This kid. You know what I mean? Like, that's really wound me up. You know what I mean? The disrespect showing for him, like, you know. And also, then I watched what is it? The team of the season, like, do you know what I mean? And they put Foden in there instead of, like, you know, Smith Rowe or someone like that. Well, Foden, I think, is a fantastic player. No way has been in the form that he showed over. Loads of biases away against Arsenal and all that, like. Gary Neville put a goalkeeper in I ain't even heard of. You know what I mean? What, over Ramsdale? I'm sorry, like, so the disrespect for that. Saka's been Saka can get at anybody, any team. If he's on his game, he can. Martinelli will scare players. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, how I see it, Robbie, is we've got to be compact. We've got to ride our luck a little bit. They're going to have to miss chances, but when we get chances taken, there is a chance that we can win this game. That's what I'm
got to
saying.
be. I want to see a brave Arsenal now.
Yeah,
I don't want to see. I see so many teams play against Man City. They allow them literally. It's almost like they say, right, yeah, have it. Have the ball. Do what you want with the ball. We're just going to sit in compact and counter-attack. It's so obvious. They play against it every week. They know what every team's going to do. I want to see us mix it up a bit more. I want to see us. I want to see us at times go toe-to-toe with them. Be a bit brave. Be on the front foot. Push them back a bit.
Yeah.
Push them back a bit. Let them... Give them a lot of things to think about, because I really do feel so many... The only team I see that plays against them, that kind of has no fear of them, and I know obviously they're way better than us, but it's Liverpool.
Yeah.
And Liverpool, you know, always, but a lot of other teams, even when Chelsea played them, I thought they were too negative. Too cautious. I just do feel that, you know, it's almost like there's too much fear in teams when they play City. And I understand that you can't go gun-ho against them because they'll rip you to shreds. But I just want Arsenal to mix it up a bit. And remember, we're playing at home. So I want us, don't just sit back the whole game. Be on the front. Push them back. Give them a lot of things to think about. Be electric up front. I mean, Saka, Smith Rowe, these guys are Martinelli, like you said, they've got a massive role to play in this game. You know what I mean? I think Ramsdale, his distribution is going to be really important. Get that ball. Maybe go quick, diagonal, up front. When we played them actually that time in the FA Cup, I thought we did that really well.
Yeah.
Hitting diagonals up to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang kept constantly getting in behind and causing them problems. We've got to do a lot of that and not just give up all the possession to them, and it's just a carousel of them coming. Just you know when they're out wide, then there's the switching triangles all over the place. No, let's get into them, man.
What would be important in the game? Like, will Arsenal, and I think this is something I want to see, play their football from the back against them. Be positive to do it, because like in the part, it's all good
playing out from the back.
Norwich, doing it against Norwich, do it against one of these teams.
I think we have to,
and I think we can.
I think we have to. I think we have to be
brave on the ball.
Very exactly.
And
trust your players. Trust your players. Be brave. Do that playing out from the back like what we've been successful with that in games. I know people will say it's very easy sometimes to say it's only this team and it's only that team, but you've got your philosophy. You've done it well. You've executed it well recently. Don't change that up too much, but mix it up though. I do think sometimes long diagonals. You know what I mean? Give them something to think about, man.
Let Saka and Smith Rowe, if he plays, or
Martinelli,
let them perform. Just say, right, You're going to have times when you're going to be isolated a little bit. Go and do your stuff. Now, I'm not probably, listen, in the last 3 or 4 games, you watch it, Saka's been, when he gets the ball, 3 players around him. Man City won't do that. They may let him have just 1, 2. That's when we've got to put. That's take him on. Be positive. Same with Martinelli, because they will overload in certain areas, and that's why they get caught. So when we get caught, let's be brave and
press them as well. And you know what? I think Martin Odegaard's going to be very important if he can shine like he has been in the last few games. I mean, he's a very important player for Arsenal. I was reading actually today where they're not too happy in Madrid. Apparently, they've been saying that they made a big mistake in selling him to Arsenal for only 30 million. I remember there's a lot of people at the start of the season were saying, no, let's not get him. Let's get Buendia. Well, I'm sorry, he's been an excellent signing, and he's starting to show his worth.
Yeah.
And as I said, over in Madrid, apparently they're not happy that they let him go for so cheap. Remember he was signed originally as a wonder kid for them. He didn't get the game time, and there's been a lot of talk over there saying that because he did have a successful loan even before the Arsenal one. I think it was at Sociedad. And the talk is, why didn't they bring him back, give him game time to show what he's been showing now? I mean, don't get me wrong, they've got a brilliant midfield at Madrid as it is, but Odegaard's proving his worth, and it's going to be a huge game. He's going to be very important in that game. Yeah, if he's firing, we've got a chance.
I think he's been brilliant, but again, the question mark, the agendas, saying, oh, he's done it against so-and-so, do it now. I thought he played very well against West Ham. I think he's been
against West Ham. He's brilliant.
So do it against Man City, and as a player, young players like that, you want to be doing it against the best as well. So let's see what you can do. And I'm feeling that this is now Arsenal's now time. I don't care what anybody turns around and says. It's there's an opportunity for top 4. I've watched. I was forced to watch the Spurs game yesterday. I'll be honest. I don't watch Spurs games unless I think they're going to lose. Right? I'll be honest with you. So I didn't want to watch that game yesterday because I thought that they were going to win that game. But I've got family at the Spurs, so they was watching it. So I've actually been, in my house as well. Can you believe it? But anyway, and I sat there and I thought, oh, hold on a minute. Southampton looked really good for it, and then it happens, the penalty and everything there.
Yeah, 10-1.
But I wasn't that wholly impressed with Tottenham. You know what I mean? Everybody said that Conte made mistakes in that game as far as I was concerned when he took off the left back. Why didn't he put Gill out there on the left-hand side, playing the right-hand side in midfield? When you've got 10 men, what's coming inside to the traffic? I thought there was a few mistakes by the wonderful Conte, where everybody turns around and says. And I wasn't impressed with Man United, by the way.
No.
So there's an opportunity for Arsenal to get into this top 4. I'm not saying that they're going to, but we have got an opportunity because the teams that are in and around us, West Ham, lost to Southampton at home over the Boxing Day, still a very, very good side. But there is an opportunity that we can get into.
There's no out of those teams going for the top 4, right? Which is us, Tottenham, Man United, put West Ham in it as well. There's no standout. None of those
that
teams.
Includes us.
That includes us. There's none of those teams that you say, well, yeah, it would definitely be for me United. United for me is just a team full of
individuals,
brilliant individuals. So. When I was watching that Newcastle game, I'm like, when they didn't get that second goal, I'm going, they ain't going to win this game. It's going to be a draw, or United will win because they've got Ronaldo, they've got Cavani, they've got Sancho, they've got these guys, they've got these individuals that even though they don't play well as a team, at any given time, give them a chance, bang, and that's what happened. And although they were a bit fortunate even with that, right? West Ham are a good team, but the squad's not deep, so you can see them slipping up. Tottenham. Tottenham. We know that on a day, certain days they can be really, really good. On another day, they can be really, really bad. You know what I mean? A bit like us in a way, right? So it's up for grabs, man. It's up for grabs, right? But it's definitely up for grabs. We got a chance, and we got to seize it. And if Arsenal and Mikel Arteta in 2022, come May 2022, if he gets into the top 4 for me, that would have been really, really good achievement. Honestly, I've been so impressed by that.
Yeah.
so impressed by that, you know.
And you'd have to hold your hands up as a critic of the manager and
say, listen, he's turned it around.
Hold your hands up and say he's turned it around.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the other thing, Lee. January is important for Arsenal. I think the transfer window, we need to do a couple of good bits of business. I mean, we're going to lose players to African Cup of Nations. You know, obviously, I know Aubameyang ain't been playing, but he's going to be gone. Thomas Partey, who's really been improving a lot in recent games. Pepe, you know, El Neni, who's a guy who comes in, stands in, does all right. You know what I mean? And with COVID and the way squads have been getting depleted and that, we could miss guys like that big time, right? I think in January we've got to go and do some business. And also, we don't even know who's going to be. I mean, there's a lot of talk that Ainsley Maitland-Niles is going to be going to Roma. To me, if Eddie Nketiah is saying that he doesn't want to stay at Arsenal, he wants to play, they have to try and see if they can sell him in January. Yeah. Right? Because, you know, he can walk away for free, you know, at the end of the season. So to avoid that, try and see if you can move him on in January, get maybe a 10 million or something. Lacazette, I wouldn't. I'd say he's such an important player. You got to try and, you know, even though he looks like he's going to be leaving at the end of the season, you're probably going to have to hang on to him, right? Aubameyang, I don't know what they can do with him because the amount of wages he's on, it's going to be hard for him to move on. But I do think that Arsenal need to get a midfield player in the January transfer window and need to get a striker. I don't know, maybe even a loan move. I mean, I've seen links with people like Philip Coutinho. A few years ago, I was like, yeah, that'd be a great player. Now, that's not the type of player I think Arsenal need, but I would like to see, you know, a good midfield player in there. You know, and also a striker, especially if Eddie was to go a striker.
Well, the one thing, you know, I've criticised Mikel over the last sort of year and whatever. The one thing I won't criticise, and I didn't in the summer, and I won't now, is our transfers. I think they've been all brilliant. They've been very, very good, and they've done exceptionally well on that front. From when Edu first came in to bring in Martinelli, they've got Partey, Tommy Asso. I'm going to be really honest with you. I never heard of him. I know him now. You know, so when they turn around and say about centre forwards and all that, whatever centre forward they get, if they're going to get one, I trust them with that. I trust them with the midfield player. And in this January transfer window, it was a time when you just didn't trust, or even in any window, trust anything. But I do trust that there is a plan. There is a sort of something in there. If they're going to let Maitland-Niles go, then they've got to be at some sort of plan.
Have to bring in a midfield player then, because you know, because as I said, you know what I mean. We won't have Thomas Partey won't be here, and neither will El Neni.
No, and I think El Neni is gets a lot of criticism, but he just does what, you know. It comes on the last 10 minutes.
Steady Eddie.
Steady Eddie. You need that all the time. 10-15 minutes from the end. I'm quite confident when he comes on. He's not going to mess up and things like that. So they're going to have to, you know, for that January period when you're playing game after game of what we spoke about earlier on.
Big games in January.
We need, you know, you can't go in here with Granit Xhaka because that's all we've got, and Lokonga, you know what I mean, and really see, unless they're going to try and play Smith Rowe in that position and maybe, like, you know, it's a bit of a gamble though, Rob. So I think that at the end of the day they will make
sniff at the top four. Don't gamble.
No,
We've done this many times over the years. I remember Arsene Wenger used to do this a lot, where we'd be saying to ourselves, you know, all we need is a defender, and we could get, you know, we could win the league and things like that, and we wouldn't do it, and then we just drop off. Learn the lesson this time. Get it done. Bring in a couple of reinforcements. You don't need a lot. I don't think there's a lot of Arsenal fans out there that are saying we need like 3, 4, 5 signings in this transfer window, but certainly a couple of good signings.
If we was to sign,
the top 4 is there.
If we was to sign a top striker, just say, I don't know, just if we did, it would give us a big boost.
Yeah.
Going into that last part of the season. You know, I remember, God rest his soul, Reyes, when he came to the club. You know what I mean? We was on a high when he came to the club. You know what I mean? And we ended up going on and winning the league that season, like, you know, because it gives us something different. It give everybody a lift, and we need that little bit of. Also, as a fan, at this moment in time, you're not too sure if we're going to get top four. We're in the mix, but you know, you ain't going to put your mortgage on it and whatever, like, you know. And you're also at that stage with the board. Do they really want it as well? Do they want it, like, you know? Well, this would be a perfect opportunity to nail both. Do you know what? We do, and we are. This could be just January month could be as massive on the field as well as off of it.
What's your I wrote this down here. Your hopes for 2022.
Do you know what? To see Arsenal competing, you know, and going into games when I think that we can win games of football against the big teams.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Over the last sort of 2-3 years, I've been going to home and away to City, Man United, and thinking Man City, Liverpool. We ain't going to win it. Chelsea, we're not going to win those games. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I want to be going into games feeling that we've got an opportunity to win those games. I don't think that's too much to ask for, really. Like, you know, I'm not saying we're going to be winning leagues or whatever there. I want us to be competitive in every game. I want us to go on Saturday and go toe to toe with Man City. If we lose, fair enough. But like, we've been in a game. There's been too many games, Robbie, when half time it's all over with.
Yeah.
So that would be my hope for it.
My hopes for 2022 with this Arsenal team is, I agree with you, competing, but my hopes is top 4 by the end of the season. I know it's a big stretch. It's going to be difficult, as we said. A lot of teams going for it, but it's attainable. So my hopes is top 4 at the end of the season, and then going into the new season, some good signings in the summer that enables us to compete for the league.
Yeah.
Not just, you know, so that at the start of the season, you know, and people are saying, what's your predictions? There's a few people on that panel who said, you know what, with the signings that Arsenal have made and how they finished the season,
exactly, that's a great point.
You know what, my little dark horse outside bet is for Arsenal. I think they're gonna do bits this season because they bought in this player and that player, added to the excellent players that they've already got. Yeah, you know, I'm lumping a bit on Arsenal, which is over the past few years, someone lumps a bit on Arsenal, they probably call some sort of you know, facility to go and get them locked up or something. You know what I mean? You know, so I want to see that.
That's why games against Man City coming up, Tottenham away, is important.
Yeah.
That we win those or get something in those games, and when people get so like think, oh, do you know what? They're not a brush over no more.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, it's Arsenal.
People start taking us seriously.
Taking us serious.
Yeah.
In everything we do. Win the League Cup. Go on and win that. Like, you know what I mean? Because Arsenal, I'm going to say this, Robbie, should be winning that League Cup because we've not got Europe where the other teams have. But it should be like, yeah, oh, that's what Arsenal should be doing. And do you know what? They've gone and done it. And that's where I want to be now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and I want a trip to Wembley this season. I do, and I feel that we've got a very, very good chance of it. So 2 would be nice. Just saying, but like, you know, but that's what I think we should be looking to do.
Your Arsenal player of 2021.
Saka.
Yeah, I agree.
Without doubt, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
He's been over the course of the season. Yeah,
I think over 2021. I was going to say Saka as well for me.
I just think he's been wonderful. He's a wonderful watch as well. Like, he just ticks every box as a footballer.
Plus, as well, he you know, as well as his exploits for Arsenal, he broke into the England team. He was a regular in the Euros. You know, I think he was our most consistent player. Yeah. I mean, Smith Rowe towards the second half of the year, he was amazing. But I think throughout the whole year, it's got to be Saka for me. He was unbelievable.
Yeah, I just think, like, you know, look back at Benfica away. You know, last minute we need a bit of magic. Saka comes up with it, puts it on the plate for a bang. I just think that he's been fantastic all year. Smith Rowe's been the revelation of the year. I'd have to say that. It's been an absolute fantastic rise for him. But for me, Saka.
Your low point as an Arsenal fan.
Well,
and your high point. What am I saying? Low point first. Your high point and low point as an Arsenal fan.
The low point
in 2021.
I think the low point for me was, you know, Southampton away in the FA Cup. I was, you know, like when people go on about Mikel, And
that's when he rested loads of players.
Yeah, he rested a lot. I lost a lot of, when people have a go at me, oh, do you want Arteta in? I'm not an Arteta. I look at things like that and go like, that was a big blow for me. Then obviously like the Villarreal thing. I think after that was a real low, not even to be in Europe and lose that. It was a massive low, so that would be the low.
The Villarreal one for me was the big low.
And I don't like.
We had a chance. right, to get to the final of Europa League, and we could have won that. That United team that was in the final, we could have beaten them. Right? I was always like, if we get United in the final, I think we can turn them over, right? And then we would have been in the Champions League, and we blew it. Yeah. And I remember Mikel Arteta went and played this false number 9, and I was like, what is that? We never play that. What are you doing? And I think he has learnt from that.
Well, hopefully
that was horrendous, and that was definitely my low point. That Villarreal game,
and that's when I go back to Mikel. You look at it like there was people go, oh, we've had a great. I think someone said we got the second most points from January to January, like or whatever it was like, but which is fantastic. But Southampton away in the cup.
Yeah,
Villarreal,
Southampton won.
Very, very fortunate against Benfica. We got away with it. You know what I mean? It wasn't It wasn't an enjoyable ride. What's happening now? In the last 4 or 5 games, it's been enjoyable. It's been an enjoyable ride, and the high for me. Listen, I don't care what anybody says. Was the Spurs home game? You know what I mean? To annihilate them like we did in the first half. Absolutely.
I might have to agree with you on that one as well.
Absolutely put them under the pump.
Yeah, and that was coming off of the back of we weren't playing good. Remember, that was early in the season.
That first half was just, you know what I mean? I know that they were poor, but that we was just, it don't get very often that many times to really pump Spurs, you know what I mean? We've beaten them a few times and whatever, but we annihilated them in that first half. And we should have gone on and won it probably more, but listen, that first 45 minutes, the atmosphere in the ground as well was sensational.
That was brilliant. I've got to agree with you on that one as well. It's time to talk about the games.
Well, this is a low point for me.
It is a low point for you this week because I've got it written down on this piece of paper here. We predicted these games. We went Norwich, Arsenal. You went 2-0 to Arsenal. I went 3-1, of course, 5-0. Very impressive. Then we did Arsenal Wolves, but it was cancelled.
Yeah, I predicted that.
So Manchester City versus Leicester. You went 3-0. No, sorry, you went 2-0. I went 3-0 to City. We were both wrong. But here's the winner now. Aston Villa versus Chelsea. You went for a 1-1 draw. 1-0 I said to Chelsea, and it was another win.
3-1.
I take the month.
You take the month, yeah.
That's 2-1 in months.
2-1 in months, yeah. Well done, yeah.
2-1 in months. I'm back, mate.
You're back. Oh yeah, you're back.
I'm back.
You're back. It's about time you won one anyway. You know what I mean? So.
All right.
Christmas, spirit and all that. I thought I'd let you have that one.
Listen to this guy. Christmas spirit and all that. Right. Let's get into this week's games. Oh, I lost it here. Just had it a minute ago. Right. Of course, first one, Arsenal versus Man City. You were very confident. You were talking about.
I'm going to say, I'm going to. I might be mad here. I might be mad.
Let's see if he backs it up with his predictions.
Back it. Arsenal 2, Manchester City 1. I've got a feeling we're going to nick it.
Jesus. I think I'll go 1-1. I just don't quite think. I think we're going to put in a good performance. I don't think we'll win it. I don't think we'll lose it.
Would you take a point now from that game?
Definitely. Would I take a point? 100%. Of course I'll take a point. You wouldn't?
Yeah,
I mean, no, I want all 3, but...
no.
you know,
I'd love it. You know, if we come out of that game unbeaten,
the way they're playing,
I'll be well pleased.
The way they're playing, I'll take a point. Chelsea versus Liverpool, the big game of the weekend.
You go first on that one, so good luck with that.
Jeez, you know what? This game, they're on even points now. They're both on level points. I think whoever loses this game,
he's out of it.
Might be kissing goodbye to the title.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go Liverpool, you know.
Ooh.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Liverpool, even though the other night they lost. I think they'll be attacking. Although Chelsea did look impressive the other day. Lukaku back in the team. I'm going Liverpool. 2-1.
I'm going to sit on the fence on this one, 2-2.
2-2.
I don't think it suits either one of them, but you know, it's a tough. You know, like. You'd only say Liverpool and Man City got a chance of beating Chelsea away at the moment, realistically, like, you know. But
all right, Man United versus Wolves.
They can't continue to be bad. 2-1 Man United.
2-1 United. I think United, just because Wolves, they've had all the COVID and that, although they will be fresh, but.
They're a difficult nut to crack.
Yeah. Go 1-0 United. I think it's going to be another tight affair. I'm not impressed with United, but I think they're at home. They'll get it done. And what final one should we go for? That's a good one. Crystal Palace versus West Ham.
I was going to go Watford Spurs there. Thank God you didn't do that.
I was going to, but that's a standard win for Spurs, isn't it? So,
yeah. They were poor the other day.
Watford was shocking. Yeah, but I like that player they got up front, Dennis.
Yeah, but I think Ranieri's on thin ice again. He's on thin ice.
Listen, every manager who goes to Watford's on thin ice from the day you walk through the door.
I'll tell you what, he's skating on water at the minute. I'll tell you that. Yeah,
Palace versus West Ham. Who's first? Is it me?
Yeah, you go first.
Zaha will be back. Fancy Palace, man. Going 2-1 Palace.
1-1.
1-1. Fence again. Yeah. That fence a lot.
I was impressed with West Ham again yesterday, though. I watched them against Watford, but Watford
Watford as well have been missing a lot of players as well. They've been pretty depleted. So,
I'm happy with that.
Okay, you happy with that? I mean, actually, I'll take a loss if your prediction for Man City comes true.
Yeah,
I'll be more than happy to, you know. So let's see. But it's a big weekend. Want to wish you guys a really happy New Year, and make sure you stay safe over this January. Lee, it's been brilliant doing the podcast with you this year, and looking forward to many more shows in 2022.
So thanks for all your support and all that. It's been getting good numbers, haven't we? So
Wonderful support from you guys. Keep watching, and also to all the people we lost this year. Of course, we lost Claude this year. You know, we still remember him.
Heavy D.
You know, Heavy D. I love what they've been doing. By the way, I don't know if you have seen this, but we had a picture here of Claude, and you know, Claude used to go up on the coach to every game.
Yeah.
And what they do is they take that picture, and they've literally retired that seat for the season, right? And they put that picture on the seat, and they go to every away game. Ty puts it down there, or the other guys, they put it down there as well, and then literally nobody sits in that seat, and that picture is just the picture of Claude is there, and they travel up to. So well done to the supporters club for doing that. That's been absolutely fantastic.
Also, he's got that little fun thing that he does. Like.
Fam, it's not good enough, blood. Southampton, you know, 1-1. It wasn't even Southampton, it was Southampton. Them man had 10 men like Khloe Kardashian, fam. You know them way there. And what did we do? Nothing, fam. Dele Alli, I thought this guy's reinvigorated his career. He's back. Snoop Lion, Dele Dirt. Blood, the man runs like he's holding hand luggage, blood. He can't run, fam. No effort whatsoever. As for Matt Doherty, trash Doherty, you know. Bro, that man went down to 10 men, and we went down to 10 men when we brought that fool on. He needs to be sold, fam. We were...
Dead before they knew me.
These expressions back, and at times I walk alone like Dave Bautista, fam. But not today, because this video sponsored by Surfshark VPN, fam. Listen, to watch the football, you'll usually be spending £70 minimum. 70 quid, mate. That's more packages than AJ Tracy. Less of that. But with a virtual private network, one flick like the ant from a Bug's Life, fam, you can go from the United Kingdom to the United States, from Peckham to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's like going from Giggs to Kurt Angle, fam. And while that location's in America, you can grab Peacock for $4.99. And with that, you can watch all Premier League games, even the 3 o'clock ones that aren't televised. Do you believe in magic? And if you like, Surfshark can teleport you from Cornwall to the Copacabana in seconds. Just look at the amount of money you can save. Clickety, clank, clickety, clank. The money stays into your piggy bank. Just know. But what about security expressions? What about my credit card? What about my debit card data? It's all online. Debit card passwords are all encrypted, and Surfshark helps secure all your personal information. Plus, your IP address will be in a mask. Even Future couldn't get this mask off. Just know. Links in the description. Promo code expressions, and you can get 83% off. Links in the description. Straight into it, fam. First things first, how are we behind against Southampton, blood? Fam, the only time I expect to be behind against Southampton is if I'm in a Southampton carnival, fam, and I'm behind daggering gal. Behind against Southampton, fam. These man are fighting for their lives in the Premier League, fam. Do you know what I mean, bro? So when they went down to 10 men, I thought, you know what, blood? Oh, when the Saints go marching straight into Rizla. I said it, fam. I said the Saints are going to go marching straight into Rizla, fam. I was like, we've got this, fam. We've got this. Even their goal, blood. JWP, blood. David Beckham Jr., James Ward-Prowse, fam. Romeo Beckham, fam. Them man there with a rocket, fam. A WMD, Weapons of Mass Prowse, fam. WMP, fam. Rocket. Defenders just standing there, blood. Do you know them with there? Them man are standing there like, you know the models that are outside Hollister holding a surfboard? Our defenders just standing there, blood. You get me? Dele Alli, you got nowhere near the block. Nowhere near, fam. You get me, blood? I love my Nigerians, fam. I love my Nigerians, blood. But I'm telling you, he's never been to Nigeria, blood. He can't run. You get me, fam? No way. No way, fam. You get me? That man, they had to play for England. He would, bruv, if he ever went to a Nigerian training session, but they couldn't believe it. Do you know them way there, fam? That's not good enough, blood. You get me? It's not good enough, fam. I'd rather see Dele Alli on a skateboard on the pitch, bruv. He can't move. Can't move, fam. You get me, fam? It doesn't make no sense to me whatsoever. He tried to go for the block, bruv. Out of reach, fam. Gabriel, he had no chance. He was never getting there, fam. Get me? Rocket into the back of the net. Do you know what I mean? We're 1-0 down. But that's fine. It's how you come back. And we did come back, fam. Man, like that C-Tech party, whatever his name is, Pa Salou, blood, or M Salou, whatever the hell that fool's name was, blood. My man took on that. Man got 2 yellows, fam. You get me? 2 yellows, fam. More bookings than a Marriott hotel, fam. You know them way there, fam. I'm so angry I couldn't even think. You know them way there, bruv, I'm gone, bruv. My head is gone, fam. I'm telling you, bruv. It's on a spike outside King's Landing next to Ned Stark's, fam. My head is gone, fam. So then we get the penalty, yeah? Kane puts away the penalty. I'm thinking, you know what, blood? We at least got a whole half. We got a whole half to exploit these man, fam. You know them way there, fam. We've got a whole half to put it on these man, blood. I'm thinking, second half, Antonio Conte's going to go in there. He's going to talk to them in Italian, fam. He's going to fire them up, blood. You know what I mean? We're going to pepper these man up. Who cares if Southampton came out second half and completely parked the bar? Who cares? That's what they're supposed to do. They got 10 men, fam. But what do we do, fam? I don't know what changes that guy, man. How Matt Doherty managed to come onto the field, bro. Man took off, and I'm not saying Emerson had the best game. Reguilon probably came off because he was injured, innit? But instead of putting Davis left back here, instead of doing that and bringing on maybe a Rodin or something in defence, what do we do, bro? Man puts on Matthew Doherty, fam. Trash Doherty, blood. Left wing back. The man can't even play in his own position. The man can't play right back, and you got him playing left back, fam. Matt Shockety, bro. G Shockety, fam. You know what I mean? If he can't play good in his own position, why are you playing him left back? Them man there, yeah, eyes light up like Scott Summers, fam. Them man there, eyes light up like Cyclops when he sees his name or on even a Tottenham shirt. He can't believe it, fam. Do you know what I mean? Listen, that's the biggest the thievery in football history, Matt Doherty, bro. He's rubbish. Like, he does nothing well. Bruv, did you see the... Oh, bruv. Listen, I'm telling you, bruv. This man just kept cutting in, fam. Like Iron Robin and doing nothing. Honestly, bruv. Man had a one-on-one, bruv. Like Flex and Arnez, fam. You know what I mean? Like Rihanna, fam. Man had one-on-one, fam. Do you know what I'm saying? Nothing. What? Bro, we had 10 men. When we brought on Matt Doherty, it was even Stevens, fam. You know what I mean? All fair and square, blood. That's what it was. We had no advantage about 10 men. 10 men. We had 10 men as well, blood. With Ali, we had 9. Do you know what I mean? Oh, God. It's not good enough, blood. It's not good enough. We had a whole 45 minutes, blood. A whole 45. Call 45 and 2 zigzags to get back into the game. And what did we get, bruv? Nothing. We did nothing. It's just not good enough. We were looking flat, fam. We were looking like A-Cup Hotspur today, blood. It's just not good enough. We had chances in the second half, don't get me wrong. We did look like we were trying to score. But the end product, the quality, it didn't match. We need reinforcements, fam. You get me? Harry Winks and Dele Alli had the game of their lives against Liverpool. It's probably because Liverpool had a non-existent midfield. They had holograms in midfield, bruv. Both of them today, I'm telling you, you saw what time it is, blood. You don't need a Richard Mille, a Rolex, or an Augment Pigueur, blood, to even see what time it is. You don't need any of them, fam. Do you know what I mean? It's just not good enough, blood. It's just not good enough. A 10-men Southampton, we should have slapped, fam. Should have been Southampton 10 times, blood. We should have gave them 10-0, blood. Do you know what I mean, fam? Honestly, it's just not good enough, fam. And these are the matches that we need the points in. Do you know what I mean? Southampton away, you get me? Whether or not, even if they had 11 men, I expected to win this, blood. Southampton, these are the games that man need to be winning. What's going to happen when we go away to the Man City's, blood? Huh? The Arsenal's, blood. Huh? The Liverpool's, blood. Huh? Old Trafford, blood. Huh? Stamford Bridge, blood. Huh? You know what I mean, fam? What's going to happen, bruv? I'm telling you what's going to happen. We're going to get touched up, blood. Get me, fam? We're going to have Photoshop sponsored on our kit, bro. We're going to get touched, fam. That Amarian, bro. You know them way there, fam? No, it's no good. It's no good, bruv. I'm telling you that, fam. Nah, listen, yeah. 1-1 against Southampton. It's unacceptable, blood. Yeah, like, you get me? Yeah, they're saying, oh, you know what I heard the commentator say, oh, Tottenham are unbeaten in 7 under Conte. Oh, the first manager or something like that, this, that, and the other. Well done. But we need to be more ruthless in front of goal, fam. That's what it is, bruv. We need that. We need reinforcements as well. And with Conte, you see if a man goes down to 10 men, I just want to see man change the system maybe. Like, we didn't need 5 at the back. I know that's what you train at. I know that's what we do in that, but come on, man. That man had a 5 at the back, bruv. Could man not just switched it up, blood? Man don't want to see Davis and Sanchez at right back. Imagine that. We had Davis and Sanchez at right back at the end of the game, fam. That's how you know Rodon's career's done. He's finished. What other centre-backs do we have that was done? They're all done, fam. They must be, blood. Like Jay Huss, they must be. I'm telling you that, fam. Do you know what I mean? Where was Tanganga, bruv? Done. Like, it's not good enough, fam. It's not good enough. Now we're dropping to 6 after West Ham's 1 as well. We're dropping to 6, fam. You know them way there. We're in 6. We still got games in hands. But, fam, honestly, them games in hand, if we're going to play like that against Southampton, bro, man's gonna have to wish me luck, blood, like Charlie Wilson, fam, like the BMF soundtrack, blood. You're gonna have to wish me luck, blood. I'm telling you, fam, how are we even gonna win our games in hands, fam? Nah, it's 2 points drop, blood. 2 points drop, bruv. We draw, and I reloaded yesterday, fam. I didn't need a draw, blood. It's 2 points drop, fam, and it's not good enough, and we need to improve, blood. But yeah, fam, I'm Expression. Smash a like, and I'm out.
My crystal ball and try and look ahead to the summer and sort out this striker situation at Arsenal. Now, this might not happen, but let's just pretend it does. Lacazette, who's out of contract, disappears. Aubameyang has no future at the football club. Arsenal sign a new striker. Who, within their budget, is the best fit for the Gunners that would come to the club? And let's assume as well that they finish 4th, because that's important, because I think the quality of player that you would get being in the Champions League might be different from the quality of player you would get if you don't qualify for the Champions League.
But that's a big asterisk, right? I mean,
It
you
is,
know,
yeah, it is.
we don't know
Let's
if
do
they're
with
going to
and
be.
without then.
Yeah, no. Well, look, I mean, you know, the names obviously, you know, that we've seen. First and foremost, I'm not absolutely convinced that Lacazette is going to go, right? But even if Lacazette, even if you know, because you know, even if Lacazette stays, I think there's still need probably to get somebody. It's a young team. I suspect that Mikel Arteta is going to continue to try to get players. You know, I don't want to say for the future because they need him now, but players that are obviously younger. So, you know, we're looking at the names like, you know, Vlahovic. We're looking at the names like Patrick Schick and Calvert-Lewin. Those three names have been around. Assuming that's true, and you say, you know, who within their budget. I don't know their budget, of course, because Mr. Kroenke, even though he has a lot of money, you know, doesn't always let us on how much money he's willing to spend. But you know, I think out of the three, if I had a choice, I think it would be Calvert-Lewin, although he's probably the most unrealistic of them all in a way. Look, as I've said, if you look at Arsenal right now, the way they play on the break, they want to get behind, right? And I think Calvert-Lewin's probably the best of those three, if you talk about it. Unfortunately, I think his contract is until 2025. He's an English international. You know how much money players like that, players that do know the league. That's why I want him there, because I think he could come in right away. We know his quality, of course. He's still a young player. You can mold him in whichever way Mikel Arteta sees it fit. So for me, I would have gone for him. You know, I'm going to look past this injury, who seems to go on forever, although I think he's back in training. You know, I don't think there's indication that this is going to be chronic in any way. So that, to me, for me, would be number one choice. If you look at, you know, Patrick Schick and Vlahovic, I don't want to say they're the same, but they're similar. Couple of issues with them, right? They're both young. Vlahovic is younger. At the moment, both are on fire, both with 16 goals in their respective leagues. Schick at Leverkusen, and of course Vlahovic at Fiorentina. You know that I know, you know him as well, Rako Kamiso as well. He's going to ask tons of money, but you know, look, they're more of a number nines. They can do a little bit more, but neither of them, between Schick and Vlahovic, are good in holding onto the ball with back to goal, that type of play, which sometimes in the Premier League you have to do, right? You have to show that strength. And, you know, they're young, they may learn, but it's going to take some time. So I think there's a little bit of risk in that. Vlahovic, unbelievable season. You and I have seen his quality already this season before, but not proven, right? I mean, this is the Premier League. So I think that would take some time. Patrick Schick, on the other hand, we've seen him do in Serie A. He's doing it in Bundesliga as well. I think maybe he would be the one that kind of now for a number of years have defied the odds, I want to say, right? Because I think we were dismissing him. Oh, Patrick Schick, but he's been consistent in how he's been scoring now in different leagues. So number one, Calvert-Lewin. I think Vlahovic, I would go in a way because, well, he's 21, he's young. You can still, I think, you know, you can have him for years to come. Not that Patrick Schick is that old, but he's what, 24, 25, I think somewhere in there. So I hope I answered to. Calvert-Lewin would be number one choice, but it's going to be very expensive and very difficult, I think, for Rafa Benitez and Everton to let him go.
For the Arsenal fans, Janusz, I just want to talk a little bit more about Dusan Vlahovic. You and I covered him for many years. No, I say many years. He's 21. We've covered him recently for Fiorentina, and he had times where he's got Castrovilli playing in behind him. He had times when he was playing with Franck Ribéry, which I think really helped his game. What type of player would Arsenal be getting with Dusan Vlahovic, and how much has he improved over the last couple of years? Because I remember most of his appearances were off the bench a couple of years ago, and at times he looked a little bit like a deer in the headlights. However, he was a teenager back then, and the progress that he has made over the last couple of years has been fantastic.
Look, I mean, he's got so much going, as we know. I mean, superb in the air, a very good finisher in front of goal. I mean, you put him in the penalty area and you feel comfortable that he's capable of finishing, right? At an age of 21, he's showing incredible composure. You have to say that. The problem with him, again, is, you know, the hold-up play, which at 21, you can still learn that, right? He's going to grow into his body even more. With strength and conditioning, I think for Premier League, that's important. We have to talk about that because the game is 100 miles per hour. I mean, it's a shock to the system. I mean, to a degree, even Romelu Lukaku, right? There's probably that readjustment. Even though he's been there, you know that it's a different pace, and you can't overlook that. I suppose. I think his passing is not great either, right? If you look at Vlahovic, his passing, we're talking about Patrick Schick, whose passing is not great. The short one is okay, but I think over distance when you sometimes have to. But young players, I suppose. I think you're making a great point in a way that Vlahovic has improved in leaps and bounds overnight. You almost want to say, right? So he is a sponge. He wants to learn. He can learn, and that's big, right? Because it tells you that okay, this is going to be a different environment, different pace, different league. But when you look at the last 2 seasons, he's learned a lot and learned very, very quickly.
Final question for you, and we've discussed the merits of Calvert-Lewin, we've discussed the merits of Dusan Vlahovic and Patrick Schick. There are others, of course, that Arsenal will be considering if they wish to add a striker to the ranks in the summer or even in the January transfer window. The question is this: if it's down to those 3, Calvert-Lewin, Vlahovic and Schick, you've got a one-on-one in the edge of the box against the goalkeeper for all the money in the world late on in the season to get into the Champions League or to win a trophy, who are you putting your mortgage on? Calvert-Lewin, Vlahovic or Patrick Schick?
Yeah, I mean, they're all good, decent finishes. Calvert-Lewin is not this unbelievable one, but I'm still sticking with him because it doesn't matter. If he scores, great. If he misses, no problem, right? I'm looking at a player that Arsenal need over the entire season, not just for one game. And I think over the entire season, I'm still sticking with Calvert-Lewin. For now, I think when you look at the future, kind of, Vlahovic is super interesting. Probably the most interesting player out of the 3.
Pay over the odds for a striker that knows the league and knows how to get it done, or pay for promise? It's up to Arsenal to decide.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.
Jack Grealish to Man City, Lionel Messi to PSG, Cristiano Ronaldo back to Manchester United, and Romelu Lukaku back to Chelsea. Those are just some of the major moves that happened in 2021, a year of unprecedented high-profile player transfers. I'm joined by the man with the inside track, my friend, my colleague Fabrizio Romano, to look back on a year of seismic personal change within the locker rooms of Europe's biggest clubs. Que Golazo begins right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Que Golazo and happy holidays. I hope you're having a great time and enjoying good times with your family. Fabrizio Romano, Merry Christmas, happy holidays. How are you, my friend?
Merry Christmas to you, my friend, to our listeners as always. Super pleasure to be together. Happy holidays to all of you, and get ready because transfer market is coming. So I'm good, but already working on some news.
Well, Fab, I already had my panettone. I hope you have it later on as well. But as you mentioned, this has been such a crazy 2021 for you, especially, Fab. How, in your entire career, how would you rate 2021 in terms of busy and craziness?
No, it's been the most crazy ever, and I think it's going to be very difficult to match this kind of level of craziness we had this year in transfers. This summer has been, August in particular, has been incredible. You mentioned Jack Grealish, Lukaku, Messi, Ronaldo, and imagine that everything happened in 3 weeks. So it's not in 3 months, it's in 3 weeks. Because in July it was a bit quiet. Okay, Man United signed Sancho and Varane, but it was under control, so we expected the signings. In June we had the Euros, so it was a bit quiet. But in August was something that is going to be impossible to match in the future, I think.
Absolutely insane. And so this is what this episode is about, everybody. Our holiday episode, just looking back at all the transfers. I want Fabrizio Romano to just let me know about some of the storylines of 2021 from a transfer perspective. And let's begin, Fabrizio Romano, with the transfer of the year.
Halo, gimana Natal kemarin? Khidmat? Seru? Semoga Natal kali ini bikin kamu bahagia karena bisa kumpul bareng orang-orang yang terkasih, ngobrol-ngobrol. bercanda bareng, nonton film. Banyak kan film-film kalau pas Natal kayak gini. Tapi ngomong-ngomong soal film, soal cerita nih, perayaan Natal itu emang banyak kisah-kisah mitologinya kan. Beda negara bisa beda cerita. Tapi rata-rata selalu berhubungan dengan anak-anak, ya kan? Terutama soal penilaian terhadap sikap mereka, sikap anak-anak dalam setahun sebelumnya. Tapi ya, manusia itu emang spesies yang punya kemampuan untuk ngarang, untuk membikin dan mempercayai cerita-cerita, apalagi buat bocah-bocah yang belum sepenuhnya bisa membangun mindset yang logis dan rasional. Seringkali orang tua itu emang membutuhkan cerita-cerita dengan segala karakter-karakternya nih untuk mendidik tingkah laku si anak. Misalnya kalau yang positif ya, kalau yang berhubungan sama Natal, ada kisah Sinterklas. Kalau anak baik, kalau kamu baik, nanti dapat hadiah dari Sinterklas. Nah, itu yang baik. Nah, kalau yang nakal, diciptakanlah karakter-karakter yang menyeramkan. Monster di sudut-sudut yang gelap yang bisa menculik atau bahkan memakan mereka. Kalau anak-anak itu nakal. Menakut-nakuti anak dengan karakter-karakter serem itu kayak udah jadi formula universal untuk mencegah anak berbuat nakal atau sekadar agar si anak menuruti kemauan sang orang tua. Seperti yang tadi aku bilang, beda negara, beda cerita. Dan kali ini kita akan bahas soal cerita-cerita mitologi di Islandia. Di Islandia makhluk-makhluk Natal yang serem-serem itu tadi menjelma jadi sebuah monster yang muncul menjelang malam Natal. Monster-monster Natal di Skandinavia ini punya wajah atau rupa yang jauh lebih mengerikan, serta menyimpan ancaman yang dijamin akan membuat anak-anak Skandinavia ketakutan. Dan selamat datang kembali di Persami, perkemahan Selasa Misteri. Persami bukan jurnalisme investigasi, Persami bukan jurnalisme data, Persami adalah jurnalisme yang bukan-bukan. Dan jika kamu dengar ini lewat YouTube Tirto, sharing di kolom komentar. Cerita monster atau mitologi apa yang menurut kalian serem dan perlu kami angkat.
Pertama, mari kita berkenalan dengan Grilla. Grilla adalah makhluk mitologi asal Skandinavia yang sudah tercatat dalam proseda yang berasal dari abad ke-13. Penampakan Grilla ini seperti sosok nenek sihir di cerita-cerita atau di film-film. Ia disebut-sebut sebagai raksasa perempuan. Itu versi utamanya. Versi lain Grilla digambarkan seperti troll perempuan dengan fisik yang sangat menjijikkan. Ada yang menyebut Grilla ini adalah seorang pengemis. Pertanyaannya, dia nggak bisa apa? Yang pastinya bukan uang, bukan juga materi. Yang membuat Grilla menyeramkan adalah karena dia mengambil anak yang tidak patuh pada orang tuanya. Untungnya, Grilla bisa diusir dengan cara diberi makanan. Konon diceritakan, Grilla pernah menikah sebanyak 3 kali. Pernikahan yang terakhir ia jalani bersama Leicester. Tapi pernikahan mereka tidak berjalan sebagaimana mestinya. Leicester ternyata seorang laki-laki yang amat pemalas. Saking malasnya, Grilla tak tahan dan kemudian mengusirnya dari rumah. Leicester yang terusir akhirnya tinggal di pegunungan di Muborgis, Islandia. Nah, sebelum berpisah, Grilla dan Leicester sempat dikaruniai buah hati. Gak tanggung-tanggung mereka punya 13 anak. Ke-13 anak ini kemudian dijuluki sebagai Julelats atau anak-anak Yule. Lagi-lagi ini kata satu versi. Versi lain menyatakan Julelats sebenarnya bukan anak kandung Grilla, melainkan saudara-saudaranya. Sementara